Hey, so you think you aren't good enough? Join the freaking club, right? In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to stop buying into lies and start telling yourself the truth and what this means in relation to feeling not good enough. And because I know I'm hoping you do not want to continue to live a life of not feeling good enough, I want to give you my book, Rebel Rising. It has my story in there about how I believed and where that came from, about my not good enough story and journey. And it also has the number one healing tool that I use with all my clients. It's a proven process and it helps you to face what you need to face, like the good, not good enough story, dive into the core of that, burn shit to the ground, and rise back up with your truth intact. I want to give that to you. And all you got to do is just drop me a line and I will shoot that over to you in a messenger. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Contessa Akin. I'm the best emotional well-being coach that there is. I've coached close to 1,000 women over the last 15 years on how to heal their trauma, how to empower themselves, how to nourish their nervous systems, how to really just defy the odds. And by defy the odds, I mean the past, right? And in every video, you're going to get one action step from me to take back the three things that were stripped from you as a survivor. That's peace, safety, and trust. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the lies you can stop telling yourself so that you can start telling yourself the truth. So let's talk about the first thing here. You're telling yourself that you're not good enough. You feel like you're not good enough. This feels heavy. Your chest feels constricted. It feels like a lump, like a rock, like a weight that's right here in your center of your body. And it's hard to breathe. It's hard to take a deep breath. And when you recognize that this feeling of not being good enough or not that you won't ever be good enough, that you don't feel like you're good enough, it's here. You're aware of it. You feel it sensational in your body. I go ahead and take a deep breath. I had to get in there to communicate that, to convey that. But here's the thing, feeling not good enough, unfortunately, was necessary for you at one point in your life. It's a true story. It's a necessary evil. Your brain has one job, one thing to do, one sole function, one thing only. That's to ensure your survival. I know for me in childhood, it was necessary to believe that I wasn't good enough because if I had at that time been in the place I am now where I do know I am worthy and good enough, then I would have fought back. And in my childhood, if I would have fought back, I probably would not have made it very far. Or at least when I did fight back, I knew that I got met with a fight on the other end, usually at the hands of an adult, someone bigger than me, someone stronger than me, and that usually ended up in my harm. So my brain created this story that you're not good enough so that I could kind of tamp that spirit, that fighting spirit down, right? And we're not saying this is all a conscious process. Your brain is doing this. It's running, it's a subconscious program that's running in the background. And not good enough was born from an event, right? So when you think about your feeling not good enough, there was a time in your life where something happened, an event occurred, and then your brain said, oh, we need to install not good enough here so that we can keep her safe, right? So it was necessary. So what I love to do with my clients is just hold not good enough, right? Like it did its job. You're here, you're alive, you're well, right? And just hold space for not good enough. Thank it, acknowledge it, see it instead of try to hide it, fight with it, and contort and twist around it, right? Just hold it. Thank you, not good enough, for showing up and keeping me safe. It did its job, it did its purpose. And now you get to tell yourself the truth. And here's where it comes a little tricky, right? So we want to go from feeling not good enough to I'm not good enough, right? That's the opposite. That may be too big of a jump for the first truth that you're telling yourself. A better jump might be somewhere along the lines of going from not feeling good enough to I'm good enough for this life. Life is good enough for me. My effort to get out of bed today was good enough, right? You can focus on your activities or your actions, right? Like I took a shower today. That was good enough. When I did this, when I would lay down in bed at night, what I would tell myself was, I did enough for today. And that was all that was necessary. So I couldn't go from I'm not good enough and believing that to I'm good enough, right? There was some baby steps in there. And for me, it was literally laying down at night, calming my nervous system down, creating space for not good enough. I'm not trying to get rid of it, but to also kind of back up some truths here, right? I did enough for today. I was good enough for today. And that built and built and built. And then I was able to then see, like I'm a good enough mother, I'm a good enough wife, I'm a good enough friend, I'm a good enough sister, I'm a good enough daughter. And from there, then I was like, oh, I'm good enough just as I am on my own. So think about the truth that you can tell yourself, that you can believe, that is believable to you. That's the next best step for you from not good enough. That's all you got to do is find the truth. And then you find supporting evidence for that truth. So, for example, right, I was lying in bed, I did enough for today. And sometimes that meant that I just got out of bed, brushed my teeth, took a shower, got dressed. Maybe I just did one of those things. Maybe I connected better with one of my kids or both of my kids, or I had a great connection with my husband, or I did the dishes, whatever that was, right? I found supporting evidence for the truth, right? Because what happens is when we have this story, we have an event, not good enough is born, then we have all kinds of evidence that we find to prove that we are in fact not good enough. So when you start telling yourself the truth, now it's going to be important to start finding supporting evidence for that as much as you find for the alternative. So there you go. And I know that you don't want to keep living a life of not feeling good enough. So I'd love to send you my book, Rebel Rising, so that you can start your own healing journey. Just drop me a line and I'll shoot that on over. See you next time.